Welcome back, guys. Cannonball Repair here. Today we're installing the heater on the old Festy. All the heat you could ever want. Correct installation video. Y'all stay tuned. Okay guys, as you can see, this is a nice clean simple installation. I had a flat piece of metal to install it on. My ductwork went right through. So hey, this was very easy installation. Wait a minute. Who am I kidding? That don't go there, does it? Glad I didn't pop no holes. Anyway, guys, what we're going to do is, what I was thinking about doing is mounting the battery down here. There's a heater up here. As you can see, there's a flat area here that we could bolt this heater down right in this area. And I went on the S-Bar website and got to looking, and it says that from the intake to the nearest wall can be 1 inch. Well, I got my battery box and put back in there. I've got almost 2 inches of clearance. So I'm not going to move that battery. I'm going to put the battery back where I was at, and then I'm going to put that heater right there. Okay, everyone, we got the battery box bolted back in, and this is kind of roughed in where I'm thinking I would like to have it. And we're looking at 2 inches. 2 inches of clearance. And the S-Bar says that you can have up to 1 inch. That's a little tight, but 2 inches, I'm gonna say that's plenty good. So, right there is gonna be its location. Alrighty guys, we got the holes drilled in the flat area here. Used that gasket as a template to lay it out. Drew out my spots and drilled the holes. Deburred them, and now I've got the heat exchanger back in its case. I did swap the lead to the other side. It was coming out this side, which would be over here, but I swapped the lead to that side. That way it'll be on the opposite side against this plastic, and I'll be able to hide it and tuck it in, make it look better. Now it'll just drop right down into place. And that, whenever I get that bolted down, it'll be sturdy. It did come with this other plate, this plate here, and I did paint it black because I was planning on putting that down to help support it too. But where this floor runs uphill here on these ribs, it was going to set funny. So, and there's a big gap there, but I mean, you don't necessarily have to use that, I don't think. So we'll throw that to the side, and that way this gasket, all the flat surface around here is sitting flat on around here. It doesn't hit these ribs here, and the gasket will be directly against this ceiling, so I won't get no carbon dioxide, monoxide, whatever the stuff is that kills you, it won't be coming in here. Overlook this mess, guys, but here is where it's at. There you can see I've got plenty of clearance under here. I'm not running that big turbo muffler like what was installed from the factory, and I did have to take down the heat shield here, but that's no big deal because this pipe is so small, and the exhaust turns down here, so you know, not a lot of heat back here. But there is that stuck through, and I was going to put the nuts on there, but I've realized that maybe I could use that steel bracket that comes with it anyway. So what I plan on doing now is taking this bracket to come with it, and I'll put it up there like so, and then that'll give me a little more rigidity here. even though it don't move much now anyway. But a little overkill never hurt anything. Alright, check it out, guys. That worked out perfect. And adding that plate like that is pretty much just putting a big washer. Putting a big washer all the way around it. So whenever you tighten it down, it pulls it down even, holds it tighter, and we're good to go. Put the intake and exhaust on, and we just got one more hole to drill for a fuel line. We got it, that plate bolted in, the heater's bolted in, the exhaust is routed, comes back and goes into the muffler, and the factory muffler mount was right here. So we've got this bracket attached to the factory muffler mount for the Ford Festiva, because they used to come with a big turbo style muffler here, but we've got this beast on here. Like I said, overlook the magic. But anyway, here's our muffler, mounted sturdy, mounted the correct way, because these things get moisture in them, and this right here, as you can see, it's got a little wheep hole that moisture can drain out right there, so these things don't rust out, and they stay together longer and work better mounted this direction. And then we got our cold air right up there, and that is our air silencer, and we're kind of using it as an air filter, but it's not a very fine filter. It's got, you know, pretty good size holes, but it'll keep, you know, big bugs and stuff from crawling in there and wreaking havoc on the inside of the heater. All right, there's the heat exchanger in. Here's the gas tank we're going to use. It's a 2-gallon. You can go out to your dollar store and pick them up. But anyway, the reason I use that is I can take it out and have it to fill it, and I won't have to have actual diesel fuel nozzle inside my car on my seats or anything like that. But that seat, whenever it's set back, it wedges this thing in so it doesn't move. There's a factory mount for the back seat bracket mounted here and here. Well, I just mounted my fuel pump there. There's your fuel filter, and I did add a fuel filter here. This is a fuel filter off of a weed eater, and the reason to use that is because as it's drawing fuel out, it's so tight here that it would create a vacuum, then the vacuum wouldn't allow it to pump fuel. So this eliminates the vacuum, and being it's a filter mounted up high, I won't get spillage either. Okay guys, with that hard plastic line, it's hard to make bends. So the way to make them is take you a heat gun and apply heat to it. If you take your time and do it easy, you can make you a nice sharp bend there. So we're going to make that a little bit sharper, and this will go onto our fuel pump, and then we'll come back and we'll make a few more bends back here to get it up under there to the heater. Okay guys, we made pretty good progress. We got the fuel pump mounted, it's routed under, we have it connected underneath. Ended up having to move the fuel pump. I made this bracket here, mounted it at my 15 to 35 degree angle, and then we got that fuel line routed up, and then it goes under the car into the heater. We'll put some brackets down on that to hold that down. That fuel line that was poked up there, if you got a little heat source, I know I used to make one bend, I used that heat gun, but you know, when it's in the car, that much heat going everywhere, it's cooking the carpet and stuff like that. So if you got one of these little butane, I don't know if you can even see that lit, but you know, if you got one of those, you heat that line up just a little bit, it'll relax. Don't overheat it, but just heat it up some, and it'll relax and form to whatever bend you want. So I got that bent and held down in here, so let's get in there and look at that. Okay, there's my fuel tank, fuel filter, fuel pump, line leading in to under the heater. There was a rubber grommet here in the factory body, and then I ended up drilling a hole, and then I got another piece of plastic tubing that's on there that will act as a protectant. As you can see there, so that bent, it comes around, lays nicely all the way back. Now let's go underneath and look. Here we're underneath the car. You can see where I drilled a hole there to come through, and that larger diameter plastic tubing as kind of a heat shield and a protecting about that sharp metal. But then we come up and we make our bends here and come into the heater there. Alrighty, all that's left to do is prime the system and fire it up. We've got our battery connected back, and this hose here will be just temporary. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but at least I can get the heat blowing in on me. Let's turn this fuel pump prime on. There you go. We're priming now. There it is. It's moving the fuel in, guys. So the system is primed. We're going to push it outside here. Well, it's got an engine. We'll fire it up, pull it outside, and fire that heater up. All right, we got it pulled outside. Temperature is measuring 59 degrees inside of here. So let's turn this thing on. And you'll see what. Alright, there's our time. It is 18 degrees Celsius in the car, and it's set to 19. Let's go to 20. And I think 20 degrees Celsius is somewhere around 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So 68 to 70, somewhere around there. And we got good voltage, 13.5, 4 volts. This one here is measuring from a different location, so this one here is closer to the alternator, and then this is directly from the battery. So that's your resistance that you lose. But there we go. No errors. I think I smell a little fuel burning. There's the engine running. And here's the exhaust from the heater. And being this is the first time it's, refueling and getting the air out of the system, so it's going to smoke a little bit, but after this first initial fire up, it shouldn't smoke no more. Okay guys, we have a problem. We do have a problem. This thing's been running for 5 minutes. It's already turned down, and it's 83 degrees in here, and I have the window open because I'm hot. Before that thing turned itself down, that was reading 91 degrees, guys, on a 56 degree day. So we've been on for 6 minutes. We're up to full temperature. The glow plug is out. Fuel pump is just barely ticking along, and it is pouring the heat out on me right here, guys. Absolutely pouring the heat out. I'll have to turn that. I can't stand that heat blowing on me like that. That's unreal. Unreal. So, but needless to say, I'm well pleased with this. Big shout out and special thanks to Dan. I appreciate him letting me be the guinea pig on this thing, and man, I'm telling you, I can't wait to put that one in the van. This is exactly what you need. So let's go out to the gas station, put a little diesel in the tank, and ride around and be nice and cozy. Okay guys, as you can see down here, the little muffler, it quit smoking. Once it got up to temperature, it burned all that excess off. So I got the back hatch open because it is hot in there. But again, special thanks to Dan. Appreciate that, man. This is going to be awesome. This will be a whole lot more pleasant driving in the wintertime. That way I can save gas, not only in the summer, but in the winter too. So now that I have heat source inside, and of course I got the heat source out back, but like I said, that don't do me no good on the inside. But again, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about this, about the installation, leave them down below and I'll try to get back with you. Thank y'all. Have a good one now. Just about forgot, guys. We got a remote we got to test, so let's do a distance test on the remote. This one you can turn heat up and down, system on and off. It's supposed to be 30 meters, which is roughly 98 feet.
Yep.
Do it. Good deal. I'm happy with that, guys.